All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. Happy Tuesday night live. We are back for another live event. We are on YouTube. We are on Twitch. We are on Twitter, streaming live on all of those platforms right now. And this will also be up on the podcast tomorrow morning. So if you're tuning in live, go ahead and shout out where you are watching from. And there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend coming up. We got a couple lotteries to talk about, but as always, this show is listener supported. We go where you want to take it. So drop in the chat where you're watching from, maybe something that you found on a Black Friday deal that maybe you just got, running related, maybe doesn't have to be, but yeah, let us know in the chat and I'll be right back. All right, what's up, everyone? We got Justin Turnbow here. Good evening, everyone, from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Michael Powell's here, tuning in from Brownstown, Indiana. How's it going, everyone? Zach Fairchild's here from New Hudson, Michigan. And we got Mango Runner here from Lyman. Is it Lyman or Lehman? I'm going to say Lyman, South Carolina. Justin Turnbow says Leadville Lottery opens up this AM, or opens up in the AM, hint, hint. Yeah, that will be, so, man, I really want to sign up for that lottery. Like someday I'll start going for that. I don't know about this year though. Who knows? Maybe I'll talk to the family this week and see what happens. I mean, we'll see what happens like with Western States and Hard Rock this weekend. CK Hikers here watching from Oregon City, Oregon. Hope everyone is well. Labe is here. What's up? Looking forward to seeing some of your listeners at Jackson County 50/50 this Saturday. Yeah. I've said before a couple times on this show and recently in videos that I really want to go back to that one. But I'm going to not go. I'm going to like play it safe, just with, everything that's been going on. Like as far as like myself and like injuries and all of that, obviously, like I took that fall at Indiana Trail 100 and messed up my knee, but also messed up my hip and didn't really realize it at the time. And it started showing up like a week later. And so I am finally starting to kind of like work through that, which is good. I'm really happy about that right now. I am like, I'm feeling okay. Like my runs, like especially like today, had a great run. It was like a little over 6 miles or so. Put a couple miles at like a better pace, like 7:30 or so. And was feeling okay during it. Wasn't really feeling any pain or anything like that. But what does happen, oddly enough, is kind of like in between runs when I'm just kind of like standing around, like my stabilizing muscles. Like I think that's what is kind of messed up. It's not specifically all of the muscles and everything that are responsible for running or like high impact. It's kind of like just those stabilizer ones. So that's why running an ultra this weekend would really scare me, because those muscles, like all of that gets like really worked really hard. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of people from Midwest, a lot of people from Indiana at the Jackson County 50/50. It's a great race. I've done it a couple times. My good friend Aaron is gonna be there, and if you see him, like you only see him for like the first minute probably, because he's gonna be out front the whole time. He's going for the win at the 50 miler. So he won the 50K a couple years ago, and this is his first 50 miler, and I'm super excited to follow along on the day and see how he does. It's going to be awesome. He's going to crush it. Maybe set a course record. Who knows? John is here out from Virginia Beach tuning in. What's up? Stephen McNeil's here from Midland, Texas. Christy Wiley's here from Pennsylvania. Ran the Philly Marathon last Sunday with the trucker hat merch and got a compliment on. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Oh, that is so cool. Wow. People are seeing the merch out in the wild. That's awesome. I did run a sale this past week, but it's over now. Sorry, everybody. But you should have seen it like on social media, and I posted here on YouTube, but did 20% off all merch last week. I'll probably do that every year. Maybe I'll do another one around Christmas. I'm going to be working over the next couple weeks to a month of some new colors or designs or something, just to kind of like spice it up a little bit. But got some good hats in there, some good beanies, some sweatpants, some hoodies. It's all in there. Nicholas is here from Pennsylvania. What's up? David's here from Northern Virginia. Oh, and Christy, how did you do in your race? I want to hear about that. That's awesome. I hope it went well. Miguel says, hey, Ryan, I got a question for you about running tights. Do you have any preferred pairs? Good question, because we're getting into winter running right now. Me personally, I have a couple different pairs. I have one from Nike that are nice. They're pretty good. And I've also got a couple made by Solomon. Any type of like running stuff like that, I tend to prefer, like clothing wise, I tend to prefer to invest in that because, and Solomon especially is like really expensive stuff, but it lasts a long time. There has not been a single thing I've bought from Solomon that that has worn out quickly. So I will say that about that brand. It's really good. But yeah, it's like I've got like just a couple pairs of tights from Nike and Solomon, and I will wear like one, or sometimes if it's like super cold, like two pairs, just layers. And I've also got I have a couple different kinds of like, they're not tights, but they're kind of like just running pants that sometimes I'll wear on the outside as well, or just if it's not super cold, those. But yeah, I haven't had to wear them yet this year, but I know it's coming. This past weekend I did some trail running, and it was warm enough to just wear shorts, which was great. Then today it was like over 50 degrees, so I ran outside in shorts, which was awesome. Let's see. What's up? John Trulove's here from the Haute, Terre Haute, Indiana. This will be the first year that John's only had one ticket in the Western States Lottery in a while. Speaking of lotteries, that's going on this weekend. Saturday is Western States and Hard Rock. So if you guys are in the lotteries, that's a good thing to do right now. Put in the chat what lottery you're in, if you're in either Hard Rock or Western States, and how many tickets you have. And then I'll tell you later how many I have. What's up? Paul Ludwig is here from Wind in Every Direction, Chicago. That is exactly how I feel here in the Midwest. It doesn't matter which direction I'm running. The wind is either a headwind or a super strong crosswind. Like, it is almost never a tailwind. And it's just like, yeah, I get it. I feel you, Paul. That's exactly what it's like here. Nicholas says, Ryan or anyone, how are people tracking elevation gain on a treadmill? I don't understand how the running world hasn't solved this issue. Yes, I completely agree with this. This is something that I've emailed Strava about many times. I've emailed, so I've talked to Stride about it. I've talked to Training Peaks about it. Who else? Nobody has this down. The only thing that I've found that actually works like well and consistently is this app I need to look at it. I don't even remember what it's called. I just open it every time. Runcline, one word, Runcline. And it is just this this developer. He actually reached out to me too after I mentioned it in a video, and he asked if we like talked for a little bit through email. But it's just, it connects to a lot of different treadmills through Bluetooth, and it reads everything from the treadmill, like distance, speed, vertical angle, and so then it can figure out what your gain is. And so for me, like, I ended up, like, the treadmill I have is on this list of treadmills that is supported. It's just one of the cheaper Soleil treadmills. I have the F63, which I actually got almost exactly a year ago. It was like day before Christmas Eve. And it was only $1,000. So it connects to this app. And the only thing that is kind of annoying is that you have to have your phone running the whole time. And there's been maybe like 2 times over the course of maybe like, I don't know, 100 or 150 runs on the treadmill in the last 11 months that I have actually had the app crash on me. And then you lose the run, but you can just like manually upload just like a manual entry then at that point. So it's not too bad, but it was a free app. And I told this guy, I was like, you should be charging like $10-15 for this app. And he was like, I know, I want to get it out there free right now. So check out that app, download it for free, and your treadmill might be on that list of supported treadmills. NordicTrack is not, unfortunately, and he said that it's because like NordicTrack is like they don't like play nice with people because they want people to use their iFit thing. So yeah, but as far as like keeping track of it, like, you can, the way I used to do it before I had this treadmill on this app is that whenever I was in the gym or on a treadmill, I'd just like take a picture of the screen at the very end so I could remember how much vertical gain I had. And then later, once I got home, like, I would upload the file like from my watch or whatever I was recording it from, and then upload a second manual entry of like 0.01 miles and then just the elevation gain. Or you can just do the whole thing manually. Yeah, that's the thing. And even Strava is like, I've talked to them and I've said, you need to let us edit this. Like, if I'm running on a treadmill with my watch, which can get a pretty good like distance, without even connecting to the treadmill or anything, like, you need to like, just if it's tagged as a treadmill run, like, let me edit the vertical gain. And I even said, I was like, it's fine, count me out of all of the competitions or whatever you have going on, like, just like put me alone in a corner, just let me like keep track of this, let me edit my files. And they're like, it's not possible, or we're not going to let it happen. So yeah, that's how I do it. I use an app called Runcline. Michael Powell says, thoughts on compression, calf sleeves, compression socks, etc. for taper week leading up to a race. There's a lot of very strong opinions on this, and there is some like science to back up both directions. Unfortunately, it's not like super clear like how much it helps, but for me, like I use like compression boots, like the actual ones that like fill up with air. I have a pair from Speedhound who sent them out to me for review, so I didn't like, I have to say that. But any type of like the Normatec or any of those types of boots are the same concept, and I actually really like them, and I think they really did help me. Even if there was nothing physical going on, there was the mental advantage that I got from like putting effort into my recovery. But I do also, my legs did feel a lot better, and they were able to like flush that lactic acid out and stuff. As far as like compression sleeves, like while you're running, I actually heard a pretty heated argument from one side saying that they do nothing. And it's from somebody that I really trust. And so I didn't really look into it, but I think there's probably science on both sides, because compression, like, it helps reduce swelling, so therefore helps speed up recovery. I don't know exactly like what it does like during your race. I have used compression sleeves, calf sleeves during several 100-milers, and I felt that they did help me. But I think it just is up to the individual on whether or not it's going to be a benefit. So, yeah. Sorry, Michael. I don't have a super great answer on that. I do use them from time to time, though. CK Hacker says, speaking of Salomon, did you hear about Killian leaving them, possibly starting his own brand? Yeah, I saw that tweet, and I retweeted him and was like, whatever you're selling, I'm buying. So I have a feeling he's going to do some sort of clothing brand. Would make sense right away, but it would be awesome if he had something cooking, like a shoe, like coming out with his own shoe. Like, that would be amazing. But my guess is it's going to be a clothing brand. And probably something in his contract with Salomon is that it's shoes and clothing and everything. So he probably has to leave that. That's my guess. It would be awesome, though, if it's a pair of shoes, too. So we'll see. But yeah, he's been with Salomon for a really long time. Christy says, the race was great. It was about 10 minutes shy of qualifying from Boston Marathon. So that's my goal for 2020, to get that BQ. Nice. That's pretty impressive. Like, qualifying for Boston is not easy at all. Great job. Mango Runner says, Western States 2 tickets. Nice. John says, Western States 1. Putting in for Leadville tomorrow. Ooh, nice. Yeah, X11 tracks elevation gain and reports to Strava, but you have to export it from iFit. Yeah, I don't know. I guess if it works, it works. Don't you have to pay for I think iFit's a subscription, though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have a what are they called? NordiTrack. As far as Western States lottery, I have 8 tickets. So I was looking up what my percentage or what my chances would be. Why don't we actually just pull this up here? We've got, this is the Western States lottery page. Total tickets 29,000, total entrants 6,209. It's the first year since 2002. No, that's not right. It's the first year in a long time. I tweeted about it a couple days ago, that the total entrance has gone down, and it went down about 400 people, which is insane, because it's been growing by almost 1,000 people every year for the last 3 years. So this past year, I don't really think there's a lot of people talking about how the pandemic played a role in people qualifying, but I don't know. I'm not really sure if I see it that way or not, because there's so many races in the summer and fall that were totally full. Even Cruel Jewel, and I did it in May. It was totally full. Every spot was taken. So there was waiting lists for the races in April and May. So I know there was some races that were getting canceled. I know that there was probably a dip in international races and entries. But I think, if we were going by the trend that has been set over the last 3 or 4 years, we would have seen over 7,000. We would have seen closer to 7,500 people enter. So this is the first year in a long time that it's gone down, which is interesting to see. But I'm in this section right here with 8 tickets, 515 people. So I think I have like a 4% chance of getting into Western States. And then Hard Rock, this is the, I had this pulled up. So this is over here. So this is the Hard Rock. I am in, like, once again, I have like a near zero chance. It's like 0.04% chance or something. But I'm in here somewhere with 4 tickets for Hard Rock, and I've applied for Hard Rock 3 times. That's why I have 4 tickets, because it's been canceled 2 years in a row. So yeah, that's how these, this is all going to happen on Saturday. And I don't know. We'll see. If I got into either one of them, I would be extremely excited, but also very scared because that would mean that that would mean that like Saturday afternoon, I have to start planning for one of these races. And hopefully, I mean, oh my gosh, it would be cool to get picked in both, but oh my gosh, I hope not. That would be insane. But yeah, that's all happening on Saturday. Once again, I was thinking about doing a live stream during the lotteries, but I don't know if I'm going to or not. I think I might go for a run instead. I don't know what I would talk about for like 4 hours during the lottery. I guess we could like pull up every name that's being chosen and like see where everybody's from and what races they did. Yeah, it would be cool. It would be cool if I got picked like while I was live streaming, but I don't know. I think I still have my gut feeling is that I still have a couple years before I get picked for Western States, and then Hard Rock, my gut feeling is that I'll never run it. But I mean, we'll see. Obviously, I'll keep trying. And then in a couple years, if I don't ever get picked, I'll just do Uray, or something out there like in the San Juans, and then maybe be done with it. Or maybe keep trying, but it's really tough to do a qualifier every other year because these qualifying races are hard, super hard. Nathan says, afternoon from rainy Sunshine Coast. I have a trail marathon this weekend, and it's going to be muddy. Yeah. Hope you have some decent shoes for that and just take your time. What's up? Motivation Theory Running's here. Even if it's mental, that's good enough if it helps you in ultras. Yeah, talking about the compression sleeves and stuff. That's kind of where I see, like, there's some people that are just like, if there's no science to back it up, like, it's just, it doesn't matter. Like, don't even try it. And like, I don't really know if I'm like that black and white with it, because I know for a fact that the one year that I wore compression sleeves on my calves during a 100-miler, I felt like it helped me. And even if it was just mental, that, I mean, I was within minutes of hitting the cutoff at the end of that race. That was the Hallucination 100, coming back from an injury a couple years ago. I was within minutes of missing the cutoff at the end, and who knows, like maybe the compression sleeves like did work. I don't know. Aaron says, I think I would feel so conflicted if I got into Western States with my one ticket. I understand. I understand that feeling because but at the same time, like, it's a lottery. It's totally random. So I would be happy for you, man, if you got in with one ticket. There's a lot of people that do. Well, not a lot, but there's a few people that do every year. One ticket and they're in. I kind of feel sorry for those people, like, in a way, because you're kind of like, it kind of like be going to the Super Bowl your rookie year in the NFL. Like, I mean, yeah, it's great, but then like, that's the that is the Super Bowl. Like, I mean, so like, I think I kind of feel sorry in a way for some people that go so early. Like, I think there's a whole lot that you can learn about yourself by running 100 milers for 4, 5, 6, 8 years in a row. And just, like, I think you become a better runner that way too. You have a higher chance of finishing a race like Western States because you'll have seen so many more of those, miles 60 through 80 that are just like super tough, and you'll have like all of that experience of like what to do when your stomach goes south or it gets hot or you get blisters. Like, I think celebrate no matter when you go. But I'm perfectly fine with the track I'm on. If I don't get in this year, not a big deal. It's all good. I'll pick a couple of races to do, and hopefully I'll go back to Western States regardless and like do something there, filming or something. Nick says, do you have any goals for Hard Rock or Western States if you get picked? Finish. That would be the only goal. Of course, like a race like Western States, it crosses your mind to like try to go out there and have a good performance. For some reason I don't really think about that with Hard Rock, because to me, Hard Rock seems more of like a journey type of a race, where it's like you're going out there to be in the mountains and like experience that solitude. And that's also a much different type of race. Like, it's not flagged very much. Like, you have to know the course. And so there's a lot of spots where you're kind of like you're coming off a mountain and you got to hit this next ridge, and like you just need to know where to go. Western States is totally different. It's more of a traditional, what we think of as like a trail race nowadays, where there's like flags everywhere. And that is more of like, to me, that's more of kind of like the, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like that's like the festival. It's like the festival race, like the celebration of like all of these years of hard work, getting into that race. And yeah, we'll see. But yeah, finishing at all costs would be my only goal if I got into either of them. Aaron says, I'll register for Mogi and Monster on Saturday, assuming no Western. Also, I just did my second JFK 50 a couple weeks ago. Nice. Have you ever wanted to do that one? I have not. I don't know very much at all about that race. People talk about it every single year, and it's a big race. I know that, but I just don't know much about it. Mogi on Monster is on my short list of Hard Rock qualifiers to do. So I might do that one next year. I would love to go out west and do a race, and that one. Like, that's actually really high up there on my list for 2022. Matt said, I had to look up the Western States course to see if I could meet you there. Yeah, man, you should come. Man, we should talk. We should talk about that. We could put something together for real. Zach says, what approaches do you use to disassociate your mind from thinking too far ahead during a 100-miler? What do you have, Zach? Maybe you can teach me. I'm just kidding. I don't have I have things that I prepare ahead of time to hopefully help with that. But then once I get in the moment, it's very, very hard to disassociate yourself from the distance. But what I have done that is really good, that helps, is to break it up into small sections. So if it's, maybe you're really just thinking about the next aid station. And if it's 8 miles away, you're thinking, okay, how do I use the nutrition and the hydration that I have to get myself the next 8 miles? And, what's going wrong? What problems do I need to solve on the way? Is there something going wrong with my foot? And then focus on fixing that problem. Is there something going on with a piece of clothing, or do I need to focus on getting at the next aid station? I just need to get my jacket and I need to refill my bottles, and that's it. And you just keep rehearsing that in your head the whole time. So you're only thinking about like the next chunk. For me, what I used at Indiana Trail 100 recently that was really awesome that I'm going to start trying to do more of in the future, because like I'm pretty comfortable with breaking down like sections into like, from what I've realized over the years, I'm pretty comfortable with trying to break down sections into like 2 or 3 hours. And I can kind of like mentally like handle that. And so at Indiana Trail 100, it was awesome. Like I had this whole plan of like these 2 sections, like the loop. I was going to break the loop in half, and it was going to be like, hour 45 minutes or 2 hours at the most to this first one, and then like 2.5 hours to the next, and just keep going from there. And like that was going to be the plan. It didn't work out as well as I had hoped because of my fall. But that's really worked for me in the past. And, also like things like with Cruel Jewel, like there was like, I kind of had looked at certain sections on the map, and I said, okay, like this is the Dragon Spine. Like the next 20 miles is going to be just up and down. That's it. Like we're in this, until we hit this aid station, and then it's going to be a road section for a minute or whatever. So you kind of like maybe if there's like terrain that you can break it down, like definitely like the more there is like out there about the race, like the easier it is. Like, so if you go to Western States, like you can, like there's so much history about all those aid stations, even. And so you can break the race down much easier like that. But, yeah, I mean, if the race is like a smaller race or something where, you don't know, or you don't know anything about it, like you don't know anything about the aid stations or the terrain, you can just break it down by miles or by time and just really try to focus on that. But it's tough. Like there's been a lot of times in races where I've just like, it just hits you like all of a sudden, like you're at mile 30 and you're like, like I am nowhere near the end. Like I'm going to run all night. I'm going to be running tomorrow. And like, sometimes that hits you like really, really hard. And, those are times that you just can't prepare for that. Like you just have to go into it and figure it out in the moment. And that's one of the beautiful things about ultra running is that, there's a lot of sports where you can prepare for every single moment that happens. And then your reaction to that moment has been rehearsed, and your success depends on how well you can, recall those rehearsals. Like if we've already talked about football a couple times. So maybe, like if you're doing a play and you've rehearsed this a million times. And so your success is based off of, fooling the other team into one thing and like you, executing on your plan as perfectly as possible. Well, in ultra running, it's a lot different than that because you actually can't prepare for everything. And there's not, like your success isn't dependent on how well you've rehearsed everything. Your success is dependent on how well you figure it out in the moment. And that's really cool, in my opinion. So yeah, let's see, let's scroll through here. A bunch of questions. Keep them coming, people. What we got? Oh, Mango Runner says, are you putting in for Leadville? Probably not. But it depends. If I don't get into either Western States or Hard Rock this weekend, I will consider it. Danielle says, did you watch Long Shorts doc? I don't think so. What is that? Let me know. Motivation Theory Runner says, I'll go film it at Western States. Yes, that'd be awesome. Labe says, have you ever thought about doing Eastern States 100? Yes, I have. I actually thought about it when I did Grindstone. But yeah, that's like one of those East Coast races that I hope to eventually do someday. But there was a couple years, there's some weird stuff going on with it, because there was a couple years where it just didn't happen. And this was like pre-COVID and everything. Like the race just got canceled, like out of the blue. And they didn't even say why. I'm not exactly sure. So that kind of like put up some warning flags for me about that race. But I think it's back on. So I don't know. Nick says, I'm super stoked for Eastern States next year. That's awesome, man. Eduardo says Cocodona is in the West. Yes. That's the race that I think for sure will be my first 200 whenever I'm ready for that. Let's see. Motivation Theory Running says, yeah, filming and running can be hard at points, even more so when you don't feel well and you don't want to film, but you need to. Yes, that's true. And that's what I've learned. So that's like the time that you feel the worst is like, if you're trying to film, like that's the time that you need to pull out the camera and like definitely film that moment. Because that's like the that's where you will want to watch back yourself later. And other people want to see that too. But if you only film like the good parts, like there's no like drama in that. Like there's nothing. It's just kind of like, it's just a highlight reel at that point. So film the worst parts too. Talking about Eastern States, the heat is going to be huge. Getting a huge amount of elevation gain training is going to be big. I'm trying my luck for that Pennsylvania Triple Crown, hopefully. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, if you live somewhere where you can get a lot of vertical gain, like that's awesome. I do not. So I am like stuck on a treadmill for all of that. And I'm kind of hoping that I don't have to do a whole lot of climbing on a treadmill this year. I would really like to, like, honestly, like, there is part of me that is kind of like, it would be nice not to do a mountain race this year. Like I would be really stoked to just shoot for a couple like Midwest races and definitely go back out to IT 100 and finish that one. I would love to go back out to Mohican, finish that one. Just some unfinished business. It'd be nice to clean that up this year. And yeah, there might be some others in the Midwest that I would consider doing as well. But that would be cool. Like, I feel like I'm at a point where I, have done a couple like really hard mountain races, and I just know what it takes to train for that. And not living in the mountains, it's a very, very tough training cycle, because it's just a lot of repeats on 100-foot hills and treadmills. There's not a whole lot of ways around it. But yeah, I mean, I would be over the moon if I got into Western States or hard rock. But part of me kind of just part of me also wants to be okay if I don't, because I would actually be excited about tackling some Midwest races or some different types of races, some smaller ones even. I think that'd be cool. Elon David says, have you thought about the Quebec Mega Trail? Jeff's film totally sold it for me, and I've been living in Quebec for years now. I've seen his film, but I've never thought about doing it. I would love to go up to Canada, honestly, and run. Like, there's some incredible races out there. Like Fat Dog 120 is one that's been, I think a lot of people have heard about that one, but that would be really cool. Looks like an absolutely beautiful, beautiful race. Beautiful place out there. Like, especially his film was awesome too, about the Quebec Mega Trail. Justin says, when you were in the thick of your high mileage block, did you ever just not feel like getting out the door? Yes, all the time. Um, that was really tough. Like it was definitely, there was, especially towards the end, like I probably went too long, like just from my body and my experience level. I probably went 1 week too long in that block, because that towards the end, I was getting to the point where it was like every run I was walking out the door and like everything just hurt and I was tired and like I wasn't sleeping very well. Like I was really in a tough spot, but I knew that like that was where I needed to push myself at that time to get the adaptation I needed in order to do what I thought I could do at the race. So there was like the last couple of weeks I was doing Tuesday and Thursday. I was doing 2-a-days, and getting like in between 15, 17 miles like per day on those days, weekends, like big runs, and then running every single day. And it was just like, that was hard. Like that was really hard. And there was like, leaving my neighborhood, like it would take about a mile before I would start to like feel like I could actually run, like where my stride was coming out. And like, I was actually like, okay, like now, like I'm not hurting anymore. And so, yeah, there was a lot of like maintenance I was doing in between my runs, lots of foam rolling, lots of stretching, lots of compression boots, sessions. But yeah, it was really, really hard. But I'm really excited to get back into it. I would love to I would love to do another block like that in the spring. Or who knows? Maybe earlier than that. But I'm just like, I need to make sure that I'm totally good with like these little tiny injuries that I've had recently. I need to make sure I'm totally good with that before I start really putting in a whole lot of effort into like my build into the next cycle. And also like this like stupid plantar fasciitis is like I feel like it's never going away. Like it just still there. It's still as bad as it's been over the last year. So I have a feeling like that's one thing I'm just like not looking forward to this next year, because I know it's not going to go away once I start training heavy again. And then it's just going to last until it decides to go away. Like I'm doing everything absolutely possible to get rid of it. And it's just there. And I'm afraid that the other foot's going to get it. And I don't know, but that's just me worrying. But yeah, I'm excited to get back into high mileage. Chris Rhodes is here. What's up? Late night, or late join. Hi from San Antonio. How's it going? Motivation Terry Ryan said, come do the 24-hour adventure race here in Virginia. It's a blast. I've done it 3 times. Well, that sounds cool. I actually filmed an adventure race one time a couple years ago. It was really early in the channel. And I actually went back and watched a couple minutes of it to pull some still shots for my website. And I was like, oh, that was like hard to watch, but it's a great race. I think adventure races are cool. Nick says Penn State's better than Purdue anyway, right? Move east and we'll climb some mountains. That's funny. Jesus Hernandez says, do you ever see yourself moving to a different state 3 to 5 years from now? Probably not. I would love to move somewhere that was more like trail running, mountain running friendly, like having like actual places to go do that. But just with the family situation and everything, like having young kids, it's like we're in a good situation where we are. So, and we're close to family too. So probably not. Just need to travel for fun races and stuff. 6.25 mile loop through some beautiful historic trails. Can cruise solo. That's awesome. Danielle says Long Shorts is a Solomon documentary about Hard Rock UTMB double attempted by Courtney and Francois this year. Oh, yes. I have seen that advertised. I don't think I'd seen it come across my YouTube yet, but I'll have to go check that out. Brandon B says, hey, Ryan, curious if you have any recommendation for a snow running shoe. For context, I live in the Midwest, so it's a lot of packed down snow or powder on sidewalks. Looking at Hoka or Ultra, thoughts? Yeah, so like for me, like personally, like when I'm just running roads, like I'll always just wear road shoes. But I will pick maybe some road shoes that have just like maybe a little bit more rubber on the bottom, a little bit extra grip. But like I try to go places where I know isn't going to be like ice. Like if you're just running in snow, like it's not a huge deal a lot of times, as long as you're not going to be out there for a couple hours and like putting yourself in a situation where like cold, like getting cold wet feet can be a problem. But as far as like traction goes, most road shoes will be fine in the snow, but a lot of people do wear trail running shoes even on sidewalks, like when it's snowing, and I think that could probably you could probably benefit a lot from that. I would check out like Hoka Speed Goats. I would check out Ultra Olympus, Ultra Lone Peak, Temps. I think there's some good stuff there. If you really want some crazy good grip, you could try the Hoka Evo Jaws. Those are like mud running shoes, but if you're like really concerned about your grip, I think those could probably be pretty good. But yeah, I mean, it's actually like the funny thing about like snow running is like once you get out there, it's like not usually as bad as you think. Like the worst is when you get into a situation where there's a lot of ice, like if everything's like kind of melting. But like sometimes like right after it snowed, it's like one of my favorite times to run, because it's just like you actually have really good grip as long as you're not taking corners like super fast. But yeah, I usually just wear regular road running shoes unless I'm on trails. Then I wear trail running shoes. Justin says, I appreciate it. I've been doing back-to-back 70-plus mile weeks, and I know what you mean. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Once you start getting above, like, I found that I can, like, pretty, like, it's different for everybody. But once you start getting into that spot where you're averaging, like, 10-plus miles a day, like, that's some serious mileage. And you're really putting a lot of work on your body, like, no matter who you are. I mean, I guess unless you're like elite level, then 70 is probably like an easy week. But if you're normal, no, I shouldn't say normal, but if you are an amateur runner, like most of us probably are here, yeah, 70 can be quite a bit with a full-time job and family and all that stuff. Jesus says, sounds like the right decision for the reasons. Yeah, hated moving a lot as a kid. Travel to Kentucky sometime. We got some good trails down here. That I don't think I've ever, I mean, aside from a few miles during No Business when it went into Kentucky, I think that was the only single time I've ever ran in Kentucky. But yeah, definitely good trails. The No Business was a 100-mile, it was a looped course, one single loop, and it goes from Tennessee up into Kentucky and back. Had no idea when I was in what state, but all the trails were awesome. Joel Walters says, I just signed up for the SOP 100K. Nice. Good luck, man. Tyler says, have you seen the new Ultra Temp that's coming out soon? Looks like they fixed a major issue from the 2 to the 3. No, I have not seen that. And you check that out. Live Life, Love Life just came on. What's up, Ryan? Pacific Northwest, what's up? Good to see you here. Michael Powell says, thoughts on going from a longest race being a 50 to trying a 100-mile race. Would 100K be appropriate step before making the leap to 100? So I actually don't think that you have to. There's a lot of people that would probably recommend that you do. But in my experience and my opinion, the difference between the difference between 50 and 100K is not that much. It's not going to prepare you for the jump up to 100. Like if there was a distance out there, like a 75 mile, which ironically next year at the Indiana Trail 100, they are going to have a 75 mile race, because they're getting rid of the crazy like sections that they had to do, to make it 100K. So there's going to be a 50, 75 and 100 mile, which is going to be cool. It's going to be great for them. It's going to make things a lot easier too. But I think that would be like a little bit better of a step to go from 50 to 75 to 100. So like I just did a couple 50s and then I went up to a 100 miler, and it was fine. Like I wouldn't have done it any differently. Like I've ran a 100K distance, by accident one time, because it was during a 100 miler and I didn't finish the 100 miler. And I did not feel like that was anywhere near 100 miles. I felt like it was much more like the effort of a 50 miler. That's just like the feeling coming out of it. So I don't think it's necessary if you've ran a 50, I don't think it's necessary to do 100K just to prepare yourself for a 100 miler. If there is a 100K out there that you want to do, definitely go for it. Because there's a lot of great like 100K races out there, that could be really fun. And that's a really cool distance too, because, there's just a few different elements there than with the 50 miler. But yeah, I don't think it's necessary. Lou says, got here late tonight. Did I miss the buckle cam? No, we haven't done it yet. Actually, here we go. Buckle cam, everybody. There they are. This is a patented camera view of the buckles on my shelf. Not really, but I should patent it or copyright it or something. That's the buckle cam. Thanks, Lou. Carlos says New Mexico has some trails and a bit of elevation, mile high in town plus mountains. New Mexico, that would be cool. I don't think I've ever been there. I think I've driven through New Mexico. But yeah, we really wanted to take a vacation like out to the Southwest this winter, but it just didn't really work out. We're going up, we're staying in the Midwest, going up to Michigan. But we really wanted to go out to Southwest. We will someday soon take a family vacation out there. And there would be some sweet trail running involved as well with that, I'm sure. Let's see here. Christy Wiley says, yay, buckle cam. Awesome. And the mountains are calling for sure. Yes, that's the sign. That's the sign I have back there. Awesome. Justin says, yes. Love the buckle cam now. I'm happy. Awesome. A couple other things. So I don't know if you guys have seen this like sweet watch I have on. This is actually, I picked up a couple things during Black Friday, that, I was already like planning on getting. So, the sales came on, and I think that's the best way to do Black Friday, or any of these like Cyber Monday. Speaking of, I have some very strong opinions about the people at companies that send emails out. We'll talk about that later. But I picked up this watch. This is the Garmin Forerunner 55. Let's see if maybe this view is any better. You guys can see this. Not really the contrast. There we go. But yeah, Garmin Forerunner 55. And I also got the 245. I think. Yeah, 245. Picked up some Beats headphones and the Insta360 camera. All of it investing in the channel. So I'll be like testing out. I actually did my first run with the Garmin 55 today. I was wearing 2 watches because I was also testing out how the Wahoo Rival works with the Stride Pod now, which is very exciting news. If you come from a triathlon background like I do, power is very important in tracking like your effort level and expenditure and all that. So it's very, very good news that more watch companies are starting to let Stride in and become really what they should be, is kind of the industry standard as far as power goes for running. So yeah, tomorrow I'll probably use the Forerunner 245 and then expect some videos on those soon. Very excited about, I feel like December is going to be a pretty good month for my channel because I'm in a spot where I'm like really ready to like lean into it again. Like there was a lot of I guess you would call it disappointment, pain, sadness from the Indian Trail 100 and not finishing that. And there just wasn't a ton of motivation to like work hard on like putting out videos because they're not easy to do. Like it's hard to make videos. But right now I feel like I feel like December is going to be a good month, people. So yeah, I'm not going to try the daily vlogging again. Oh my gosh. I have too much going on to do that. I did daily vlog last year in December. I think I did like I did December 1st through like the 23rd or 24th. And then that was just too much with the amount of commitments I have in my life. But I am going to be able to pick it up here in December. So that'll be great. Lou says, yeah, thanks, man. Also, for what it's worth, I am jumping from 50 mile to first 100 this April. Awesome. Justin says, have you ever done rim to rim to rim? No, that's like one of my life goals. Honestly, I've never been to the Grand Canyon. So I want to go to the Grand Canyon. I want to go there with my family and see it with all of them. I want them to experience it. But also maybe not on the same trip. I want to experience that rim to rim to rim. That would be just like absolutely epic, I think. All right, guys, if you have any last minute questions, let me know. Yeah, this was a good night. I feel like this weekend is going to be very exciting for a lot of people. Hopefully people watching right now, hopefully someone gets picked to run either Western States or Hard Rock. And then hopefully a bunch of people jump in the Leadville lottery. And then the floodgates of signing up for races are going to happen after all of that. Because I think everyone's kind of like waiting right now. But yeah, good stuff coming this weekend. If you get in, let me know on social media and like tag me in an Instagram story or something. That'd be awesome. Or on Twitter. I'm on Twitter a lot more nowadays. Like my social media, like I used to spend a lot of time on, unfortunately, Facebook and Instagram. But now I'm pretty much done with Facebook. Like I really only log into it on my computer, and it's only specifically to go to the groups page and check out a few of the groups I'm in, and then I'm gone. Like I don't even scroll the newsfeed anymore because I'm done with Facebook. Instagram I do still use and I still post to it a lot, but I don't scroll through it very much. I think so. Most of my time I'm on Twitter most of the time now, just because I think that's like I follow. I'm pretty selective with who I follow, and like it's just a good it's a happier place. I know a lot of people don't think that about Twitter, but for me, like the people that I follow and the people that I interact with, it's a lot happier place. Also, speaking of social media, I just had a conversation with someone today in the DM land, and we were talking about following or not following certain people that are negative all the time. And I just want to send out a PSA that you do not have to follow people online just because they're popular. If people are being negative online, unfollow them. You don't need that negativity in your life. Just because someone's popular doesn't mean you have to follow them. Just saying that. Yeah, good luck, everyone. Justin says, Chris Rhodes says, gotta tell you, your advice on this channel super helped me do a solo 50 miler. Nice. That's awesome. Solo 50. I think that's just like I did that last year during the middle of the pandemic and everything. And it was a really, really awesome experience. I know a lot of people have done that. A lot of people have done more crazy things than that. But for me at that time, that was wild for me to do 50 miles solo. And I'm really, really excited that people are seeing that video and getting inspired to do it themselves. So that video is actually, I don't think it has yet, but sometime soon, that's going to be my first video to crack 100,000 views. It's pretty awesome for just a ultra running vlogger who I really don't like. I know I do like reviews and stuff, but I don't play the YouTube game of trying to do things that I know are gonna get a whole lot of views and everything. Like I just pretty much like my favorite stuff that I do is like vlog stuff and then talking about some like products and stuff that I think that you guys would be interested in. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Pretty soon, if it hasn't already, that video is going to cross 100,000 views. So pretty excited about that. Joel says, good luck everyone in the Western States Hunter Lottery. I echo that. Good luck. If you're in it, if you're one of the 6,200 people that have put your name in the hat, good luck. And I hope you make it in. There's going to be extra slots this year, 380 something, which normally I think it's like 20 more than last year. And the average, it's higher than the average. They'll be able to do that for a couple of years. So, all right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, I'll see you again next week. On next Tuesday, we will all know if we are in the Western States or Hard Rock or not. So, all right, that's it, guys. Thanks for joining. I'll see you again soon. Bye.